In this video, we are going to be looking at Sidewinder, the legendary lake trout in Golden Ridge Reserve, the United States map that is based on Yellowstone. As you can see, he's a very large lake trout, 110 pounds. Let's take a look at Sidewinder's traits. The first one is critical to the strategy I recommend. He's a bottom lurker. That means if you can get your lure down at the bottom and leave it there, that would be a good strategy. It's also a hard fighter, so you're going to want to expect that when you get it close to the boat, he's going to run. He's going to do a last stand and fight very hard. Let's take a look at his bait and lure preferences. The first two, tube and worm, are for jigging. Then you have two lures, spoon spinner. At the end, two more lures, jerkbait, crankbait. And then two bottom rig options, artificial corn and regular corn. So 3 ways to catch them: jigging, bottom rig, or lure. I've caught them on all 3 many times. They all work. I prefer to stick with the jig because it can keep that down at the bottom and hopefully attract them fast. Let's take a look at the gear I recommend. You want to use the strongest you can, and at level 35 you can get the Grow bait casting rod, pair it with the Mediator bait casting reel, also available at 35. You want to use braided over fluorocarbon. It allows for a longer run, so if he runs out, you have far more distance. You want to use a 4/0 jig head, heavy because it sinks faster, so there are light, medium, and heavy. I recommend the heavy, just get it down there as quick as you can. Pair that with a large worm, 2/0 to 4/0. So Sidewinder's range for hook size is 1/0 to 4/0. He hits on all 4 of those equally, as far as I've ever been able to tell. The only real difference is what else could you catch? Well, where Sidewinder is, you're typically not going to catch a lot of other things, but you could catch a large drum. So I go for the 4/0 just to make sure that it's Sidewinder who hits when I get a bite. If you have heavier gear, certainly use it. And if you're not at level 35 yet, you can use the graduation rod bottom rig at level 25, I believe it is. And that's going to be a longer fight, but I've certainly done it. It's going to be tougher. You just have to be more careful. So now that you've got your gear rig set up, what do you need next? Well, you need to know, where is Sidewinder this week? On Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, the legendaries reset, and a group of us will go out and search for the legends. Once they're found, the first place they are typically posted is in a section called Trophy Gallery in the official Discord of the angler. I will put the link to that Discord in the description for this video. So that's the quickest way to find them if you are really set on getting them as fast as possible. I also make a Legends Plus Tips post where the locations are shown and I give the descriptions of how I caught them that week. I also put the same thing on my YouTube channel and typically out on Reddit as well. So now that you know what your gear is and where to find it, let's go catch them. So we are going to stop in the vicinity of the marker where the location is for the week that we were targeting Sidewinder. Short cast and then jig on the way down. Let it go down to the bottom. You can just leave it in place. My preference is to lift it up about 10 feet or 3 meters and let it jig just above the bottom. Just feels a little more realistic to me. We're going to wait about a minute per move. Sidewinder is one of the more difficult ones to locate. Sometimes you'll get lucky and he will hit right away. Other times it could take an hour, even 2 hours of searching to find the right spot where he happens to be at. No one right way to do this. Whatever your preference is really what you want to do. Mine is jigging. Now I'm going to jig all the way back up. Sidewinder can hit at any depth. I've had him hit right by the boat before. You can't see him. I've never seen him. Doesn't jump. It's a lake trout, of course, so is going to be typically near the bottom, but may chase that lure up. And 3X is perfectly fine. The default where it starts. Alright, so that didn't happen, so just going to quick cast on this side, reactivate the jig. I do want to point out the options accessibility setting that allows you to just one touch that jig so that you don't have to hold the button. Again, get to the bottom, lift it up 10 feet. Goal really just so it doesn't hit the bottom and annoy you when it bumps, that you think it's a strike. And there he is, just like that. It's important to put your rod tip down so that you don't have crazy camera angles. You're going to want to fight them with the drag, especially on jigging. It can be challenging on the camera angles. It is a big fish, so be patient on the fight. You want to work into that hot red, and then before it snaps, move back out of it. Will be a long fight on 55-pound line, but at level 35 everyone has access to this. It's about a 3-minute fight with the Growl X and True Mediator. Three to 6, I should say. You look in the lower left, you can see I'm going up and down with the drag. But I don't like to be real aggressive. It's too hard to hook them, so I'd rather be patient than risk a snap. No need to pump the rod, just work the drag. You will eventually tire out. And you can definitely expect a last stand from Sidewinder when it gets close to the boat. He will change his mind about being tired. First time I fought him, I was way under leveled. Took me 3 hours and 41 minutes. It was pretty crazy to try that. But I did land him eventually. But the number of times I had him at the boat and was securing had to have been over 10. Just didn't have enough drag to hold on to him on light gear. I don't recommend it. It's not a lot of fun. We should be around 12-13 minutes is my guess. I land him on 55. You can pump when it's in the gray if you like. He's just a 110 pound. I'm guessing it's going to do absolutely nothing. Let's see. Yeah, got part of a foot. Camera's pretty stable right now, so it's not going to hurt anything. But I still prefer just to fight him with drag. And be very patient. Keep that tension up. Caught Sidewinder literally every way that's possible. Everything that's on the list. Bottom rig works fine. Just be patient. And you can let it set in place or move it around. And I've caught him on lure several times as well, casting and reeling. You can long cast and reel with the jig if you like. But as you saw earlier, that was literally my second cast from getting here. Just tried the other side of the boat and he happened to be right there. I was actually first to post them this week on my Xbox account, and that was first cast. Didn't have to do a second cast or move the boat. But if you don't find them on the cast on the other side of the boat, then move the boat about 50 feet, do the same thing. Move the boat another 50 feet, 5 or 6 moves, then I would go to a different server. And he should last stand about 30 feet. Let's see. Oh, he let me get past it. Oh, here he comes. I was close. And the camera's drifting on us now. He's not tired yet. Just fooling you. What you want to make sure that you do is don't get impatient because it got near the boat and you waited all this time, so you're going to really try and push him and then snap the line and have to go through the whole process of finding him again, which isn't nearly as always as it has been for me this week. There's been weeks where it's taken me hours to find him. No real risk of losing him. He's not running out on the line too much. We're not even remotely close to being spooled on this gear. As long as you're patient, it's just a matter of time. Time does not matter for Sidewinder. There's no advantage to day or night. Legendaries are available 24 hours, but some of them have different behavior based on day and night. Sidewinder is not one of those. Here he comes. Let's see if he's got a second last stand in him. Maybe not. Pretty easy to do. 12 minutes. I called that one. I said between 10 and 13, I believe. Beautiful big fish. That's really all there is to catching Sidewinder. If this video helps you catch them, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Happy fishing. Have a great one.